Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream with me, Grizzly K. This is Grizzly True Crime, and today's case takes us to Florida. It does involve the murder of a 5-year-old boy, so this does come with a trigger warning. Because the victim is a minor, no pictures have been published of the victim. So not even from social media, there are no pictures of this victim, and I can respect that. So I do have pictures though of the defendant, who so happens to be the 5-year-old boy's mother. Oh man, so it's one of those cases, right? You guys can see me and hear me, right? Because YouTube is already being naughty. I can see it. Listen here. Please like and share so that others know we are live right now and that they can join us over here as well. Bev26, thank you for being a member for 35 months. You said hi, Grizzlies, mods, and Grizzly. Thank you so much. All right. Now, what we're going to do is I've got some clips to show you. I've got some documents to deep dive, and we're going to do some map time. If you can't hear the clip, please tell me. You should be able to. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Muscogee County Sheriff.
Hold on. This was from February 6th of 2026. This is where the case started. So Sheriff Chip W. Simmons from Escambia County Sheriff's Office in Florida posted this on their official Sheriff's Office page, and everyone's like, wait, what? And yeah, then it was almost like a little mini manhunt, pretty much. Everybody looking for this mother. Okay, here we go.
Chip Simmons with an important message about a homicide investigation we are currently working. A short time ago, we got the report that a body had been discovered off of Lillian Highway. Inside a trash bag, we found a 5-year-old victim. The suspect is the mother of the victim, and we need your help. She is described as a Jalynda Smith, and she is 36 years old. If you know where we can find her, call 911, or you can call Crime Stoppers at 433-STOP. This is a homicide investigation, and we were looking for a murder suspect.
He made it very, very clear. This is a homicide investigation, and we're looking for a murder suspect. Why? Because they found a trash bag on the side of a highway. I'm going to show you where on the maps, but with a 5-year-old's body in it. And they say the mother just threw that trash bag, stopped on the side of the road, threw the trash bag, right? Okay, I'm going to read you the probable cause affidavit and everything so that you can, so we can get the full context of everything. Okay. Let's quickly see. Always be humble and kind, said like, ? Yes, please like and share, not because you like the content, meaning the topic. The topic is not something I'm asking you to like. Just like and share if you like the way I cover true crime, or if you'd like more people to learn about this case, because that's how YouTube works, right? It's data driven. So thank you so much to everyone who has liked and shared this so that we can deep dive this together. I'm going to show you more clips here.
We deserve better than this.
On Friday morning, Sheriff Chip Simmons says Jalynda Smith called her sister, telling her she'd harmed her 5-year-old son. After Smith's sister alerted authorities, investigators began searching. During the search, a passerby located a trash bag here, where a memorial lay today. New tonight, we're learning that the sheriff's office was also alerted the day before the incident, but no wrongdoing was found.
The day before, on Thursday, we got a call because they hadn't heard from the mother, the suspect in this case, but she made contact with her, the individual that fixes her car, and then the very next morning was when we got a call from the sister saying, I'm not getting a good feeling about the safety of the 5-year-old, and unfortunately it spiraled from there.
While the sheriff says the cause of death has not been revealed, investigators are closing in on a timeline.
The investigation is continuing. At this point, we believe that the child was deceased and then placed into the bag and then just thrown or discarded off of Lillian Highway.
In 2022, Smith was charged.
So if you're from Florida, if you're local, then hi, thank you for being here. Let me know in chat as well. So this was off Lillian Highway. Again, I'm going to show you on the map. We're going to do some map time afterwards, but there's a lot of points to plot, including a Walmart, okay, in this case.
Charged with child neglect. Those charges were later dropped. Sheriff Simmons says no matter the case, it's a parent's responsibility to put their children's well-being first.
You have a duty to protect your children. You have a duty to protect all children, really. But if you can't, if you're struggling, or if there's for some reason you don't think that you're able to adequately care for a child, then there are resources available. Call child protection team. Call relatives. In this case, at least the relatives tried. They first sensed something might be wrong, and then they gave us a call. And unfortunately, it was too late by that time. As I understand it, this would have been several weeks, if not months, in the making.
On Friday night,
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there because I'll come back to it. I want to first now give you some more context because that's what we heard from the sheriff. And what we're going to do now is go to the documents so that we can understand the case, right? Okay, here we go. So this is a probable cause affidavit. Thanks to Grizzly Cat for sending me all these documents so I could deep dive the case and bring this to you. All right, so trigger warning, of course, because this involves the murder of a 5-year-old. All right? Okay, so it goes like this. Between February 4th of 2026 and February 6th of 2026, Jalynda Smith committed aggravated manslaughter by causing the death of her child, 5-year-old, victim's name redacted, who at the time of his death suffered from malnourishment and dehydration, having lost 1/3 of his body weight in just over a 1-month period. Oh my goodness. The facts and circumstances are as follows, which we'll go to now. I just want to, let's put this picture up here. There's Jalynda, 36 years old, mother of the victim, and had other children in the home as well. So I hope that they're doing okay. I haven't heard any update about the other children. I don't even know how old the other children are. I've just seen the news reports that say, and there were other children in the home. Okay, so on February 5th of 2026 at 0009 hours, a woman reported, so that's just after midnight, right? A woman reported her daughter, Jalynda Smith, and Jalynda Smith's 5-year-old non-verbal autistic son missing after not hearing from them since February 1st of 2026, which was out of character. Moreover, the witness reported that Jalynda Smith's phone was now disconnected. Deputies attempted contact with Jalynda Smith and were unsuccessful. So thankfully, her mother reported her missing. And the whole family started getting very concerned for the 5-year-old, right? Like, whoa, mother and 5-year-old are missing and her phone is disconnected. So they must have been in a lot of fear as well, right? Okay. Mary Lou said, I managed the apartments where she was living and know her. Oh my goodness. If anyone wants to email me information, context, corrections, anything like that, you can email grizzlytruecrime@gmail.com. Thank you so much. So Jalynda's mother reports her missing, okay, on February 6th of 2026 at 7:09 hours. Jalynda, they say S/Jalynda because that would be the suspect, okay? And when they say V and then it's redacted, it's the victim. Okay, so February 6th of 2026 at 7:09 hours, Jalynda Smith's sister received a text message on her phone to check her email for emails from 2 different email addresses. Jalynda Smith's sister stated the message came from a number that she was unfamiliar with. Jalynda Smith's sister found an email from 6:13 hours, 6 in the morning, just 6:15 in the morning, 13 past 6 to be accurate, stating, first, please don't tell Ma you heard from me, and please don't tell the police. I'll tell you everything. But please download the app Telegram. I need to make sure everything is secure and you can't find me. Oh my word, how can you ask your sister that? I mean, that must also be so uncomfortable. The whole family's worried about her. She's not at her house. They're looking for the 5-year-old as well. And she's like, hey. So don't tell Ma that you heard from me, because she probably would have seen as well. Oh crap, the sheriff's talking about me. Oh damn, my mother reported me missing. What? Don't tell Ma that you heard from me. Don't tell the police, and then ask her to download Telegram, which would be an app that's encrypted so that the messages could be more private, right? There is a way for them to get that though. Celebrite's gonna get you. Uncle Google as well. Lawrence, thank you so much for the $2 sticker. So then it says Jalynda Smith's sister downloaded the Telegram app and engaged in a conversation with someone purporting to be Jalynda Smith. The sister challenged the person, not believing it was Jalynda Smith. But the person behind the messaging app responded with information that only Jalynda Smith and her sister would know. Therefore, the sister knew that she was actually talking to Jalynda Smith. Jalynda Smith told her sister that she was scared, and then told her sister to, and now this is even worse. So then she tells her sister to call the police and tell them that they'd found Jalynda Smith and she was no longer missing. You're going to ask your sister to lie for you? Like, I see that they're saying I'm missing. Just give them a call and tell them I'm found, okay? Tell them to stop looking. I mean, if that's not a red flag, right? Okay. So it says the sister said that she asked about the 5-year-old boy, and Jalynda Smith replied, I came in the house and he was not breathing. The sister then went to Jalynda Smith's house at the Moorings apartment located on Old Spanish Trail. There's an apartment number that I redacted. The sister found that Jalynda Smith and the 5-year-old boy were gone and the sheets were missing from the bed. So again, I do wonder about, were there other kids in the house? Or is that not correct? Again, local news reporters said that they were. So where were they at the time? Because when the sister went to the house is empty. No sign of Jalynda, no sign of the 5-year-old. She also noted the apartment to be extremely cold. She spoke to a neighbor who said that they had not seen Jalynda Smith in a couple of days, which was unusual because they normally saw her going in and out of the house. Jalynda Smith's sister then contacted law enforcement. The family did the right thing. They reported Jalynda and the 5-year-old missing. Then, when Jalynda sent her shady telegram messages, the sister's like, all right, I'm going straight to the house. Then she said, it's a bit cold and there's no sign of them and what's going on here. So, all right, I'm going to call law enforcement. I'm proud of the sister for doing that. That must have been difficult as well. Based on the circumstances, investigators from the homicide unit responded to the Moorings apartment and contacted the sister. A search warrant was authorized and executed on the apartment to look for evidence associated with Jalynda Smith and the victim, the disappearance in light of Jalynda Smith's admissions. Of note, investigators found the house to be stocked with sufficient food and noted it to be cleaned and orderly. The thermostat in the house was found to be set at 65 degrees, so that would be 65 Fahrenheit, which, for those of us who want to know, 18 degrees Celsius. Okay? Just so that you know. Sherry Lopez said, poor child living with a monster mom. All right. Shame. And again, the house was stocked with sufficient food, which is so sad because this is a starvation case. And while we don't body shame or fat shame over here, all I could say is that the mother didn't miss a meal. That's what I'm going to say. Factually, you could see that. And like, you starved your child, allegedly, but you starved your child. We're going to get to that. I don't even think I have to say allegedly. I could say allegedly that she did it, but she's the mother, but she lived there with a son. And the son certainly was, based on the condition that they found him in. Shame. Is that chilly? Is it chilly? 18 degrees. It sounds quite nice. But is it, wait, also the time of year. That's chilly for the time of year, right? Definitely, I understand. All right, so it says the ambient air temperature in the residence was 65 degrees per the thermostat, again, 18 degrees Celsius. The smell of urine was noted in the child's room. However, it was also observed that no diapers were located in the house, though the child was found clad in a diaper. At 10:14 hours, Escambia County Sheriff's Office dispatch received a call reporting the body of a small child was found in a trash bag along the waterline of the bay located in the area of Lillian Highway. Oh my goodness. Imagine being that person who found a trash bag and thought, why is that here? Let's take a look. Oh dear. That is so traumatizing. So they said after patrol deputies confirmed the bag contained a body, they contacted the homicide unit and I responded to the scene. I observed beyond a guardrail that runs parallel to Lillian Highway a black trash bag which contained a small child wrapped in blankets and towels. Upon closer examination, I observed the body to be that of a small black child, male child. The child was clad only in a diaper. Based on the height, I estimated the child to be between 4 and 5 years old, which was consistent with that of the victim. I further observed a gap in the child's teeth and hair and facial features that appeared to be consistent with photos of the victim provided by the family. I further observed the child's eyes to be deeply sunken in his head. Now, just hold on, because some people might only be joining now and not knowing what they're walking into. So firstly, trigger warning, okay? We are discussing a case involving a child, and it is a murder case. So glad they were able to find Jalynda quite quickly as well, right? Okay, so they found a 5-year-old boy in a trash bag, thrown off. It kind of almost reminds me of the Letitia Stauch, the Gannon Stauch case, right? Because Letitia also just decided to throw a suitcase like off a bridge. This is also like, oh, here's a bay, here's a highway. I'm going to show you where again on the map, but you're just going to throw your child away just like that and think no one's going to know. Wow, it's just so, ooh, it's terrible. Okay, so how did they find the condition of the child was? I further observed the child's eyes to be deeply sunken in his head. The torso and extremities of the child appeared to be absent of meaningful muscle, and the child appeared emaciated. I could see the outline of the child's rib cage through the skin, and the lower abdomen was sunken inward toward the back. The arms and legs of the child appeared to be skin draped over bone, and overall mass appeared inconsistent with the expected mass of a 5-year-old child. I noted the child had been wrapped in at least 2 blankets and a towel. The bag appeared to be loosely tied near the child's head. I did not observe any further injury to the child's body. Simultaneously, pursuant to a broadcast put out for Jalynda Smith and her vehicle, the Escambia County Sheriff's Office received information that her car was located at a Walmart parking lot. There it is, okay, at Gulf Breeze Parkway in Gulf Breeze, Florida. Investigators responded and secured the vehicle. Examination of video revealed a person matching Jalynda Smith's appearance park the car and go inside the Walmart, as well as other stores in the vicinity. Jalynda Smith was alone in the video. Through the video, it was determined that the car arrived in the parking lot on February 5th of 2026 at 8:51 hours. After visiting Lowe's and the Publix in the complex, she was observed getting into a ride share at 9:59 hours. So that's almost an hour of shopping. You allegedly threw your child away, like put your child in a trash bag, after allegedly starving him for over a month. It was probably more prolonged than that. But then you threw your child away, and then you went to Walmart, and then Publix and Lowe's. What on earth? And shopping for about an hour? What, for all new outfits, a wig, change of appearance? I don't know. Indy, thank you so much. You said, thank you, Grizzlies. You're the best. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Okay. Salty Sleuth Gannon was found in the bay here, opposite side of town, right? And Salty Sleuth Gannon was found in Escambia, right? So, yeah, no wonder. This case reminds me of Gannon Stauch's case. So, Letitia Stauch drove very far, right, from Colorado. This one did not drive that far. She was living quite close to where she decided that no one's going to know. She's going to throw her son away in a trash bag, allegedly. Okay, so she went to the Walmart, she went to the Publix, she went to the Lowe's, and they have all this video surveillance. Like, they could see her. There's you, there's your car, you got out the car, you went to Walmart, you went to Publix. Yeah, okay, now you get a ride share. And she gets picked up at 9:59 hours, leaving the shopping center. During this time, investigators were also reviewing surveillance video from the Moorings apartment where she lived, and found Jalynda Smith's car leave the complex on February 4th of 2026 at 6:23 hours. So she went shopping there on February 5th, okay, but she left on February 4th at 6:23, and it says the vehicle never appeared to return to the complex. I want to know, where did she stay on February 4th overnight? Did she stay with anyone? Does anyone else know anything? And where exactly was she arrested? Because they don't really say. And that person, who, if she was staying with someone and not like a motel or hotel, wow, they must be really shocked now too, right? Anyway, and it says, an autopsy was conducted by the Office of the Medical Examiner. The autopsy found the child to have a height of 40.5 inches and a weight of 20 pounds. The average weight, I looked based on research, of a 5-year-old boy would be 40 to 42 pounds. 20 pounds. Okay, wait, now I also got to go 20 pounds in kilograms just for us. 9 kilograms. Salty Slew said, I drive by Gannon's Memorial all the time. Shame. 9 kilograms, a 5-year-old boy. Oh my word. So it says the medical examiner indicated the child appeared malnourished and dehydrated. No additional trauma was noted, and the medical examiner pended cause and manner of death pending toxicology and review of the child's medical records. They were able to confirm the identity of the child to be, and the victim. Investigators learned that Jalynda Smith had a prior history. Now this will make you so mad, and we're going to look at it. We're going to look at the other document associated with that. Okay, she had a prior history with the Department of Children and Families, and investigators learned that 2 reports were made with DCF on October 10th of 2025. Okay, and so by February, the little boy is dead. What did they check? What did they see in October of 2025? Were they like, yeah, no, everything's fine. What? And on March 31st of 2022, we're going to look at that. The most recent report was due to a claim that Jalynda Smith would leave the victim home alone while she drove for a rideshare company. Imagine if you recognize her. You're like, I took a rideshare with her. What? Who would ever think that your driver, like your Uber driver, your whatever, rideshare driver, is somebody who's just left their 5-year-old non-verbal autistic son at home? Just special needs son. Just leave him at home all day. Well, you're out there just doing your work, I guess, doing the rideshare when you do have family that can help to take care of him, right? Lou Scotland said, I often think of little Gannon style. Many of these heart-wrenching cases stay with us. Yes, they do, right? Oh my word, Kathleen said, my little Dachshund is like a dachshund. Okay, weighs 9 kilograms. Oh my word. That's actually like Pepper, our cat. She weighs 7.2 kilograms. So 9 kilograms for a 5-year-old boy. Oh my word. That is scary. Okay, so she would just leave him at home. Already this was happening in 2022. And then again, she would just leave him there while she drove for a rideshare company. The report was closed. This makes me so mad. Finding that Jalynda Smith was meeting the child's needs and that the boy was safe with Jalynda Smith. Well, how do you feel about that now, DCF? How many cases will we see like that? Oh, the boy's fine. It's good. So what? The mother goes to work, right? He's okay. No, he's not. And now he's dead. My goodness. So I just don't know how they get to that conclusion. I was absolutely outraged when I read that. And then went digging for some more prior reports, and we're going to look at it, but I got even more mad. Like, what do you mean that he's fine? Okay, so the 2022 report was also due to Jalynda Smith leaving the child unattended at home alone. This report resulted in a finding of inadequate supervision by Jalynda Smith. What did she have to do? Oh, a little parenting course, you guys. She just had to do a course and then she was fine. Investigators obtained information that the victim suffered from a medical issue that resulted in his vomiting after overeating food. Family also reported that the victim was always thin. Investigators identified 3 other caregivers who would care for the child when Jalynda Smith needed childcare. Two of the three caregivers had not cared for the child in over a month. The last was Jalynda Smith's sister. Jalynda Smith's sister indicated she would care for the child when Jalynda Smith became overwhelmed, which Jalynda Smith had recently been, but the sister had been unable to take the boy and care for him. The sister had not cared for the child in over a week. It was determined the child's father was not involved and no other caretakers were identified for the child other than Jalynda Smith. Given the report of the medical issue, investigators located the victim's pediatrician, who's based in Pensacola. Investigator Wallace and I spoke to a doctor at the practice who reviewed the chart with us. The doctor informed us that the child had, I guess this means had not been seen. They wrote you had been seen. I think they mean the child had not been seen since 2021. This pediatrician, right? On the 19th of April of 2021 and the 30th of June of 2021, the child was diagnosed with failure to thrive. So I just looked up exactly what that means, and it would be growth or weight faltering, so unable to gain weight. That's such a huge red flag. you know, because it's not a medical like diagnosis. It's just the condition that the child was in, like, oh, failure to thrive, can't gain weight. This is being reported and they're checking in. But then the victim was just wasn't seen since 2021. Wow. Okay. The child had a hospital follow-up on 9/6/2021. Beyond that, the child had only been seen for annual well visits where the child appeared at the bottom of the weight scale, but had been steadily increasing in weight. In 2024, the child was reported to be under the 5th percentile in BMI, body mass index. At the time, Jalynda Smith reported to the doctor that the child was vomiting with food intake and labs were ordered, but were never complied with by Jalynda Smith. Okay, like, then follow up, right? I know it's hindsight, but like, this is a huge red flag. If it's never complied with by Jalynda, like labs were ordered, she's like, no thanks. This is where I call it quits. The child's next visit following that one was his most recent visit on December 15th of 2025. During that visit, Jalynda Smith reported no further issues with vomiting post-food intake because she allegedly stopped feeding him. You know? So it's like, yeah, there's no more problem with the vomiting. Okay. Wow. Jalynda Smith was provided dietary counseling regarding her son, who was found to be 3'4" and weighed 30 pounds at that visit. The victim was also diagnosed with autism and had both speech and language issues and was referred out for services accordingly. Now, that might very well be true. I'm not doubting that diagnosis. I just also want to say that maybe speech and language issues, this weight deteriorating, all of this could also be a child abuse. Major red flag, right? Oh my goodness. I advised the pediatrician that at autopsy, the victim weighed 20 pounds, 9 kilograms, and I asked if that presented a concern to him. The physician responded that the child losing 1/3 of his body weight in less than 2 months was incredibly concerning. The significant drop in weight would either be associated with starvation or a severe medical condition that should have necessitated emergency treatment. The fact that the weight had been permitted to drop by 1/3 indicated to him either abuse through starvation or medical neglect. Jalynda Smith was located during this time. Where? Where did you find her? Sir, sheriff, hello? We want to know, okay? And was transported to the sheriff's office where I attempted an interview. Jalynda Smith immediately invoked her right to an attorney, which she's allowed to do. That's her right and everything. But yeah, we won't be seeing a police interview. And after reading her Miranda. So immediately, I want a lawyer. Okay. A search warrant was executed on her person for her clothing and DNA swabs. Oh, a little bit of buccal swabs. When Jalynda Smith was located, she was in possession of a cellular telephone and an iPad. Investigators noticed, now she's going to pull a Stefan Stearns here, that both devices displayed screens consistent with being factory reset. This is an understatement, but it's a naughty one. Oh, you're going to allegedly throw your child away just on the side of the highway. You're going to go shopping at Walmart, Publix, and Lowe's. You're going to then go stay who knows where. You're going to then get the Telegram app, contact your sister, say, talk to me on Telegram, call the police and tell them that I'm actually found. Then, when you actually get arrested, right when you know, oh crap, yeah, they're going to take me in, quickly factory reset everything. You think you're smart, huh? You thought they're not going to know. Okay, a search warrant was obtained for the devices. And what does Uncle Google say? Which discovered the phone was wiped 2 minutes prior to the time that she was taken into custody. And we know that they can still get whatever was deleted, wiped, and all of that. So the digital forensic evidence should be quite interesting. Stefan says, oh, not accidental. No, there was just Stefan Stearns, twice he did it accidentally. This one was not even accidental. She didn't even say that, like, what? Just here's my devices. Wiped. Investigators also learned that Jalynda Smith's vehicle had a GPS tracker on board that was installed by her lien holder. Investigators noticed a GPS hit which occurred on February 5th of 2026 at 2:10 2 in the morning in the area of North G Street and Gonzalez Street. Based on the above facts and circumstances, a warrant affidavit was submitted for judicial review, charging Jalynda Smith with 1 count of aggravated manslaughter. I will tell you, I want to give you this kind of spoiler. A grand jury after this indicted her on first-degree premeditated murder charges. Yeah. Kathleen says, like a factory reset's going to help you. Yeah, that as well. Well, what was on the phone? Seeing as she was willing to wipe all of that, what was on the phone and the iPad? I want to know. Anyway, so it was aggravated manslaughter, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like enough. It doesn't sound like we're talking, where's the LWOP? that could happen, right, if convicted. She's presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. But if she's found guilty by a jury, by her peers, then are we talking LWOP? Because that sounds about right. Anyway, so now she is facing first-degree murder charges and tampering with evidence. I'll show you that as well. So it says, due to being the victim's caregiver who failed to properly respond to him, losing 1/3 of his body weight in a short duration of time, causing malnourishment and dehydration, which resulted in the victim, a 5-year-old child's death. Like, how can you do that? And even, you can't do that, okay? I can't even say, even if you do that, but the next part makes sense. Even if you do that, you then gonna put your son allegedly in trash bags? In a trash bag, wrapped in towels and blankets, and just gooi him off the side of the road? Gooi means throw. Okay. Anyway, that's it's actually an Afrikaans word. When in South Africa, we say gooi. Gooi him just like that, and then go hide somewhere. Oh my word. Okay, now let me continue to show you some of these clips before we look at more documents, which will tell us even more things about 2022. All right, I'm going to go back just a second here.
Fortunately, it was too late by that time. As I understand it, this would have been several weeks, if not months, in the making.
On Friday night, a celebration of a life gone far too soon.
I'm devastated.
At the time his body was found, 5-year-old Jalynda Smith weighed just 20 pounds. His mother, 36-year-old Jalynda Smith, is charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child in connection to his homicide.
So you were saying that you knew Jalynda. Can you tell me your relationship with her?
Well, she was our neighbor. She's a very soft-spoken girl. Every time I saw her, it was always at the trash can. And we always had conversation, laughing, talking about her sister. It was just nice, pleasant conversation.
And did you ever think she'd be responsible for something like this?
No, never.
But tonight was all about paying respect to the young boy, no longer here. We spoke to apartment residents who didn't want to go on camera, but say Jalynda was rarely ever let out of the house. They say he wasn't allowed to play on the playground or leave his home, a stark contrast with the rest of the kids in the neighborhood.
Listen, when I grew up, the neighborhood policed the neighborhood. Everybody watched out for everybody. I'm not saying it's none of y'all's fault, but somebody noticed that baby hadn't been seen in a while. Somebody saw that girl walking around looking a little different. Somebody could have walked up and said, baby, you all right? Somebody. Let's not let this happen again.
As we've reported, Smith was arrested for child neglect in 2022.
And there she is in her, what do we call it? A turtle suit, huh? Her smock, anti-self-deletion smock. And looking really mean in the courtroom. Like, why do you have that attitude now, right? Oh my goodness. We're going to watch these clips. We're going to do some map time, and I'm going to show you more documents, okay? Hold on. Here we go.
But the charge was later dropped after she completed a parental skills course.
It should have been more follow-up after follow-up after follow-up to make sure that, okay, the case is just not closed, because it was clear that, Miss Smith was in need of help. Something should have been done sooner.
Good evening. Jalynda Smith appeared emotionless for the most part during today's hearing as a local investigator outlined this timeline of events and what we know right now. The prosecutors are arguing that Smith's 5-year-old son died from starvation, and she disposed of his body after discovering that. The 5-year-old was found dead more than 48 hours after prosecutors say doorbell surveillance shows Smith park her car off the side of Lillian Highway. You can then reportedly hear the slam of a trunk and a couple car doors opening and closing, and Smith then driving away. It was also revealed that Jalynda Smith sent her sister a cryptic email to download the Telegram app. That's an encrypted service that allows you to send secret messages that get deleted after a short while. The state says Smith alerted her sister not to call authorities and not to search for her, and furthermore to call authorities and tell them that Smith had been found and that everything was okay. As we've reported, a passerby later found the child's body just hours after Smith was wanted for questioning. Investigators say Smith's apartment reeked of urine and bleach and covered in cleaning supplies, all but trash bags, ironically. Now, what stuck out was the absence of those.
I'm sorry, what? All the cleaning supplies? See, there was some new information there. So she was arrested on February 6th of 2026, and then her arraignment was on March 6th. And we're going to get to when she'll next be in court, which, wait, I can't remember it now. I've got the documents here. She'll next be in court at a later stage again. But some new information just came out there, right? Let's go back a little bit here.
Furthermore, to call authorities and tell them that Smith had been found and that everything was okay. As we've reported, a passerby later found the child's body just hours after Smith was wanted for questioning. Investigators say Smith's apartment reeked of urine and bleach and covered in cleaning supplies, all but trash bags, ironically. Now, what stuck out was the absence of those trash bags, and also the child's bed sheets were missing. The child was found only wearing a diaper, wrapped in a blanket inside that trash bag. And I want to make a correction. As I've been reporting throughout today, the child weighed 30 pounds. That was actually in late December of 2025. When the autopsy report revealed today that child actually weighed around 20 pounds, losing a third of its body weight in just over a month.
Sorry to nitpick, but a third of his body weight, right? Okay. So this is severe abuse because of severe neglect, right? And so I'm so glad that while she was charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child, it was later upgraded by a grand jury. So there's a grand jury superseding indictment that has now, she's been charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. The tampering with evidence, I mean, they talk about the electronics being factory reset, but I would think also the cleanup would count towards that at some point. So it was March 6th of 2026 that she appeared in court. There was a arraignment, and then on March 26th, today is March 31st of 2026. On March 26th, an Escambia County grand jury indicted her. So that was just a few days ago. So that is why this case is a little bit back in the news, which I'm glad to hear about as well. Like, oh, then she was indicted on upgraded charges of first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. So, and then she will next be in court on May 19th of 2026. And then there's already a trial date set to start around June 1st of this year. So, yeah, let's see how that goes.
Can sit idly by and watch her son die and not feed him and just let him lay in his bedroom soaked in urine, then if she cannot care for the child she gave birth to, what threat would she be to other people in the community that she has no such connection that she should have with her own child? So the state is asking that you hold her without bond pending trial.
The prosecutors say surveillance footage shows Smith park her car at the Walmart on Gulf Breeze Parkway after her son's body was dumped. She took a ride share. It's unclear where exactly she went. We also learned authorities recovered an iPhone and an iPad on Smith when she was arrested. Both of them had recently been cleared. Jalynda Smith is being held with no bond inside the Escambia County Jail. Her arraignment set for March at 8:30 a.m. That's early March.
On Friday, February.
It was like arraignment set for March. That was on March 6th. She was in court. Well, there was the grand jury indictment March 26th, and then again, she'll be in court again in May.
February 6th, Escambia.
So this is the area where the trash bag was found. By some reports, they say floating in the water. Some say just on the shore. That is so sad. And seriously, how did this dumbass think that no one would find her son in the trash bag? Like, it's not, this was a really terrible idea, right? To just throw the trash bag here. Wow.
County Sheriff's deputies were called along the shoulder of Lillian Highway after the young boy's body was found just off the road inside a trash bag. Deputies say Smith reached out to her.
See, there they say just off the side of the road in a trash bag. Other reports that I've read say floating in the water. Others say just there on the shoreline. Okay.
Sister on that Friday morning, sending her an email asking her to download a communications app. Prosecutors say Smith then sent her sister this message that same day.
Please don't tell the police. I'll tell you everything, but please download the app Telegram. I need to make sure everything is secure and you can't find me.
Concerned for her nephew, prosecutors say Smith's sister drove to the Moorings apartment where Jalynda Smith lives. After not finding Smith or her nephew there, investigators say the sister reached out to the sheriff's deputies for help. That's when investigator John Little and his team began searching for the child.
The apartment was clean, however, had an odor of both urine and bleach. There was an odor of urine in what appeared to be the child's bedroom. There was a strong odor of bleach in one of the bathrooms. They also noticed an absence of garbage bags, which was significant to a finding later on.
Investigators say Smith disposed of her son's body around 4 a.m. Friday morning. The child's body was found around 10:15 a.m. Deputies say the 5-year-old was wearing nothing but a diaper. Prosecutors say the body was wrapped in blankets inside that trash bag. The boy's autopsy revealed he only weighed 20 pounds. Prosecutors say the child lost 1/3 of his body weight in less than.
Look at her. That's where I got the thumbnail picture from. Look at her sitting there. Oh my word, like who are you looking like that at? That's scary.
2 months. Prosecutors say Smith wiped her cell phone clean 2 minutes before she was arrested in a Gulf Breeze parking lot on Friday.
Okay, who's ready for some map time? I am. Let's go. Okay, and we are back. Let's quickly bring up the map, shall we? There you go. Now we're in Florida, everybody. This is where it all happened, and this is the route that she drove around based on the probable cause affidavit. Regina Heath, 6131 said, many nonverbal autistic children have to wear diapers. It's not just communications problem. Thank you so much. Yeah, so yes, again, I do believe the diagnosis. I'm just like, with that pediatrician that saw this victim in 2021, and then 4 years passed, and then again, you know, December 15, 2025. What happened with the checkups in those 4 years following up, and even seeing him then? I mean, weren't there red flags, huge red flags? How was the mother behaving, or what? Okay, so I think I've managed to get to most of your messages. Thank you so much all for being here. Please like, not because you like the topic, just because you want more people to learn about this case, and share as well. And I look forward to reading your comments afterwards as well to hear what you think about this. Now, the map time, we would be starting at this. Now, YouTube disclaimer, this is public record. It's not a specific home address. It's from the probable cause affidavit. And I'm not doxing anyone or sharing anything that I'm not supposed to be sharing. It was around this, 8400 block of the old Spanish Trail Road where the mother lived with her son. Okay, so somewhere around here. Let me actually see if I can just see this quickly. Just put him on the ground. Just want to turn around. Actually, I haven't driven around yet, but yeah. That's what they showed on the news. So in here, she lived in an apartment with son. They said the apartment was very cold when they got to it. They could smell bleach, urine in the child's room, but everything was cleaned up. There were no trash bags, no diapers either. So that is a huge red flag to say, wow, so she didn't expect, I mean, what was her plan? Really, what was her plan? How long were you going to hide out for, and where? Were you just never going to come back to this apartment? Who was paying rent? Do you know what I mean? A dark scale creature said, I have 3 sons and my oldest is autistic. I could never in a million years hurt my babies. These people are seriously sick. They are, right? Thank you so much for being a member for 13 months. Oh my goodness. So from around here, so it would be in one of these apartments that, according to the probable cause affidavit, the little boy starved to death, lost his life. Was completely neglected too, because she would just, go do her rideshare work and then just leave him in the apartment all day, even starting in 2022. So Going from there, then, if we go from the home, which is on the 8400 block here, she drove southwest to this Lillian Highway. Now, this is what they list on the probable cause affidavit. And if I just quickly look at the, just want to see here, options. How far is that? How far is it? I mean, the whole round route is that far. I just want to see. What are you doing, Maps? What are you doing? We want to see, yeah, details. Okay, so from the house to that Lillian Highway area is 27 minutes, the drive, and about 18 miles, right? So just think about it, which is scary. She allegedly put her son, wrapped in towels and blankets, in a trash bag, put the trash bag in the vehicle, and then drove about half an hour thinking, where can I throw him? That's crazy, oh my word. Wolf, thank you so much. You said love being part of GTC. Thank you. So drove about 30 minutes to this area here. And this is what they list on the probable cause affidavit, and where they showed a little bit of footage from a drone in this area. So now let's go here if we can. Okay. Yep. So here. So driving probably along here. Wait, let's go like this. Can we turn around? Let's try turn around like this so we could see. Okay, so driving around here, and they say around 4 in the morning, right? Okay, driving around here, decides, which I think there would be ring cam that captured sound, because you heard from that little snippet we saw from the court hearing, they heard like the door opening and what sounded like the trunk closing, multiple doors opening and closing, and then her driving away. And so it would be around here. Around here, just through the trash bag, there. Can you imagine? And then continue driving. So where'd she go next? Where'd she go? Off to Walmart, as they do. In some of these cases, there's nothing wrong with Walmart, okay? I'm just saying. There's so many times in these cases, it's like, really? Then you go from there, you're going there, throw your son away, allegedly, and then you drive all this way to go to this Walmart. Wow. Walmart Supercenter even. This was the address where they say, and to the Publix and to the Lowe's. Right? There we go. Did a little bit of shopping. Shall we put him on the ground here as well? I know sometimes you guys like to see. Let's see. We're going to Walmart now, everyone. There we are. And they caught her on surveillance here. Alone. So already they can build the timeline. All right. So she left her apartment complex this time. They know when the trash bag was found, just hours later after it was, discarded there. And then goes to Walmart alone. So that'll be part of the probable cause. Like, okay, so suddenly you're without your son. Right. Goes to Walmart, goes to Publix, goes to Lowe's, shops a little bit. And then I'm not too sure exactly where she went. They did put that address on the... They put an address, like 2 different streets on the probable cause affidavit, but I'm not sure if that's where she went. They didn't really mention the context of that. And the reason I have this other point here, which is a Circle K around here, is because we're going to look at a document now from 2022 where she just left her son at home and just went to the Circle K. And then says to the police, well, guess I picked the wrong day to go to the store. Yeah, no. If you're doing that consistently, neglecting your child, starving your child, it's not just the wrong day to go to the store. So she really minimizes what she did, hey? Just based on what we know. Okay, so that is the map time, just so that you can see if we take out the Circle K point like this, pretty much like that. And again, not sure where she went after that. All right, so we've got that. Then I want to show you, while I'm actually here, let me quickly show you this. This is linked below for you as well, and it says press release. This was March 26th, just a few days ago, press release. On March 26th of 2026, an Escambia County grand jury indicted Jalynda Smith on the charges of first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. The indictment stems from the death of Smith's child on February 6th of 2026. His body was found in a trash bag along the waterline of the bay off of Lillian Highway. The defendant's docket day, so next day in court, is May 19th of 2026, and she is currently incarcerated in Escambia County Jail with No bond. Thank goodness. Oh my word. Sure. I like to hear that. It always gives me peace. Like, okay, so they're not getting out, right? There's no risk of, there's no like flight risk, right? Because I think in this case there would be, especially because she'd already shown it. She had been hiding somewhere, contacting her family, her sister on 2 email addresses, then asking her to get the Telegram app, then saying, just tell the police that I'm fine. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, she is a flight risk and there's no bond. The investigation is being handled by the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. Again, thank you so much to Grizzly Cat. Okay, let's quickly see. Wait, we're going to bring this up here. Nope, that's not the right one. Hold on. This one. Okay, so here's the indictment. I just want to check something. Okay, we're good. Here's the indictment for first degree premeditated murder or felony murder and tampering with evidence. There it is, State of Florida versus Jalynda Carey Smith, March 26th, 2026. Look at it, stamped and everything. Okay. It's what? It says Pam, child is clerk of court. Okay, cool. Superseding indictment. Count 1. The grand jurors of the state of Florida lawfully selected, impaneled, and sworn, inquiring in and for the body of the county of Escambia upon the oath and as grand jurors do present that Jalynda Carey Smith between January 1st, oh my word, and February 6th of 2026 at and in Escambia County, Florida, did unlawfully, from a premeditated design to effect the death of a human being, to wit, the date of birth, while unlawfully engaged in the perpetration of or an attempt to perpetrate a felony, aggravated child abuse, did kill and murder by failing to provide with essential food, water, or nutrition. I've never seen that sentence like that. It should be like that, because that neglect causing the death is a murder. In some cases, we've only seen that it's like, oh, child abuse, child neglect, but like, and then the child dies, and then some of the cases we covered, then they're out on bond and all of that. No, this is did kill and murder by failing to provide with essential food, water, or nutrition, an act imminently dangerous to another and demonstrating a depraved mind without regard for human life in violation of those sections. And count 2 is on one or more occasions between February 1st and 6th at an Escambia County, Florida, knowing that a criminal trial proceeding or investigation, so when she was arrested, right, she did unlawfully alter, destroy, conceal, remove any record, document, thing, cell phone, tablet, and or the body of, in such trial, proceeding, investigation, with the purpose to impair its verity or availability in such proceeding or investigation in violation of those codes, right? So that's now what her charges are now. First degree premeditated murder and also tampering with evidence. That's also interesting to say between January 1st of 2026 and February 6th. I wonder why they picked January 1st. Because the last time the pediatrician saw the little boy was December 15th. So I think it should be from December 15th, although maybe it's when family last saw him, right? Okay, so we've got the indictment. Now, the booking photo, there it is. There it is, booking photo. This information as well, it was initially aggravated manslaughter, tampering with evidence, as you can see. So we've gone over that and we've seen the upgraded charge with the grand jury indictment, right? Superseding indictment. And now I just quickly want to show you this. Let me just see what this one is. Yeah, okay. I want to show you this just for some background info, right? Okay. This is from 2022. Obviously now we're in March of 2026. So this little boy died in February of 2026, right? So you're telling me we can go back to 2022 and this already started then? Wow. Also, yeah, that's a good question. Jess29 said, I wonder what she purchased at Walmart. I don't know, I was just imagining like new outfits, but that's true. What did she buy at Walmart? Outfits? Wigs? At Publix? Food? What did she buy at Lowe's? It's a good question. One day we'll know, right? Okay, Jalynda Carey Smith, this is again from 2022. Here she was 32. She's 36 years old now. It says neglect child without great bodily harm, domestic violence. Okay? This says on the 31st of March of 2022 in Escambia County, Florida, at redacted, Jalynda Carey Smith did knowingly and intentionally commit the offense of child neglect without injury by leaving her son alone in a soiled diaper for approximately 3 hours. The facts and circumstances are as follows. On the 31st of March of 2022 at approximately 12:20 hours, I was dispatched to the apartment in reference to a found child. On arrival, I made my way to the apartment and was told under oath by Deputy Young number 272 that Byron Caleb Grooms had provided the following sworn statement. Now this maintenance man saw something and said something, which I'm so proud of him too. Although, can you imagine how devastated he must be now to be like, I told you guys though, there's something to look into here. So, and they did, but the case was eventually closed. So it says, W. Groom stated that he was a maintenance man at the facility. Groom stated that he had been performing apartment inspections and entered the apartment at approximately 11:30 hours. Groom stated he heard the infant child, later identified to be the victim, crying in a closed bedroom. Grooms then stated that he opened the door to the bedroom and found the victim in his crib. Alone, all alone in the apartment. Grooms then stated that he had a soiled diaper and was alone in the apartment. Grooms stated that he informed the office manager at the time and stayed with the infant. I then went to the apartment and observed the victim to be in his crib and appearing calm. While in the bedroom with the victim, I observed a wireless camera mounted on the wall and pointing at the crib. Also in the living room, I observed another wireless camera. From other cases, we know that that could mean punishment, right? Observing what they do. I don't know. It could just be security. Could just be her thinking, oh, I'm checking on him, even though I'm doing the ride share job that I've got here and just leaving him unattended, and I'm also going shopping. This was in 2022, I say again. Same pattern, same defendant. All right, so it says, while I was in the apartment, I was radioed to go back outside where Deputy Young had Jalynda Smith detained. I went to Jalynda Smith, who appeared calm and collected. I advised Jalynda Smith of her Miranda rights from my agency issue card, and Jalynda Smith stated that she did not wish to answer questions. Deputy Young stated that when Jalynda Smith had gotten out of her vehicle, she stated that she had just gone to the store. No big deal, right? What? Jalynda Smith had in her possession a grey Circle K bag with drinks and cigarillos inside. So is that a clue as to what she bought at Walmart, Publix, and Lowe's? I don't know. She bought things for herself, clearly. The receipt was from Circle K at 4500 East Olive Road and was dated the 31st of March 2022 at 10:04 hours. I informed Jalynda Smith that she was under arrest for child neglect and placed her into my marked patrol vehicle. While in my patrol vehicle, Jalynda Smith spontaneously uttered, I guess I picked the wrong time to go to the store. Complex manager Linda Blocker also gave a sworn statement as follows. Reporting party Blocker stated that she tried to call the two numbers for Jalynda Smith and neither number worked. She also stated that she tried to contact 5 other contacts that were listed for Jalynda Smith with negative results. Due to the relationship between Jalynda Smith and her son, this incident qualifies as an act of domestic violence. I contacted DCF and gave a verbal report to Operator 298, and DCF investigator Tegan DeRue responded to the scene. Investigator DeRue took custody of the victim. During the course of this, Investigator DeRue also took possession of a car seat and various items to care for the little boy. A property seizure form was completed and turned in with Jalynda Smith's property at the jail. I completed a victim notification form and domestic violence questionnaire. Due to the age of the victim, he was not able to assist in its completion. That just breaks my heart reading it like that. You know, shame. So if he was 5 now, back then he's like 1 year old. Well, they said infant actually here. So I provided DCF investigator DeRue with a business card with my name and case number and victim's right brochure, a domestic violence pamphlet, and a victim notification on behalf of the victim. My body-worn cam was active during this investigation and will be uploaded to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office server. Due to the above facts and circumstances, Jalynda Smith was transported to the Escambia County Jail and given a circuit court date of the 22nd of April of 2022 at 8:30. She was not given a bond per Florida statute. So they also held her without bond. What happened to this case? What happened? She did a little course, everyone, and then the case was closed. She ticked a few boxes. Listen, man, you can't just do that. You got to do a parenting course. You can't leave your child at home. She's like, I never knew it. Just do your parenting course, comply with the program we've got for you, and off you go. Case closed, right? He's fine, right? And now he's dead. And that was 2022, as I say. This case was then as well, it said, State of Florida, plaintiff versus Jalynda Smith, 1, neglect child without great bodily harm. Okay then. So, yeah. That's what that was. Mother of the year, everyone. We've had a few of these lately, haven't we? Anyway, let's see what you guys say quickly. I want to see what your comments are about that. Doesn't that just make you so mad? That all she had to do was a parenting program? That's like doing paperwork. Like, did anyone ever check on the little boy after that? Yes, they did. DCF apparently went there in October of 2025. And I want to know, and what did you find? And what did she say? Did she say, oh, my son? Yeah, no, he's non-verbal autistic. That's why he's got the diaper on. And also, yeah, he's a little underweight because, you know, he vomits when he eats. I'm thinking that's what she said. I'm thinking she victim blamed all the way. But then just continued doing her work and going wherever, I don't know, to boyfriends, who knows? Who knows what she was up to, but just leaving him. That is so cruel. You know, especially, he's a special needs son. He needs even more care. And she did the opposite. Wow. Stefan said, yes, the parenting class was really successful. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Because I want to know, okay, well then what happened to that case? Where? No, just closed. She passed the parenting class with flying colors. Wow. She did what she had to do to tick the boxes, and they let her go and said, little boy's fine. She Bear said DCF at its best again. I mean, it really is a damn shame, isn't it? Doesn't it make you so mad? Like they have one job, okay? Damn. And also, for the other family members to sometimes have taken care of this little boy. No, I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying that was there not a huge deterioration in his weight? Because the sister, Jalynda's sister, saw the little boy a week before he died. That's... So, see something, say something. If you're seeing that a child is basically on death's doorstep, like weighing 20 or 30 pounds, yeah, already then, one would have to call DCF or the police. Call the police, right? Report that, because shame, he died and only weighed 20 pounds. Okay, so that is what we have. Court Locus said, why the hell don't the courts follow up on those classes and challenge if they learned anything? Even that. Listen, put the pediatrician on the stand. Put every DCF worker that was on this case on the stand. Okay? Even the family members, we just want answers. Like, what the hell? Did you see anything? Did you know anything? Like, what do you mean? Wow. Okay. Rob said the judge failed the child too. Jenny Lynn said DFS or DCF or CPS, as they call it, all over the place, different names, right? Child Protective Services needs a new SOP. Yeah. New standard operating procedures, please. My goodness. And people who care, who really would care about their job. I don't know. It just makes me so upset because now it's another child totally neglected and now dead. Shame. All right, so that's all I could say about this case. So we went over some clips, what the sheriff said, when she was arrested, her booking photo, probable cause affidavit, Maptime, the indictment, the superseding indictment, and documents from 2022. So thank you so much for joining me for this deep dive today. I know it's a very, very sad case. These child cases really are just so heartbreaking. All cases, all these true crime cases are sad, but like the ones involving children, and especially helpless children that are so neglected, it's just so sad. So thank you for being here. Like and share, not because you like the topic, you just want others to learn about it, and leave your comments below so I can respond to them as well. And again, thank you for being here with me. See you in the next one. Stay safe.